speaker we're going to have will be presenting what I think is one of the most amazing programs I've seen in a long time from FM. Last year, several of us had the privilege of sitting down with Anita and the moderator and Hannah. And we spoke about last year's promotions, the successes and the failures of them. And we spoke about having an input into what was going to happen this year. And the company have come up with 14 or 13 plus 1 fantastic new promotions, far exceeding anything that we had expected or hoped for. So it gives me absolutely great pleasure to introduce our next speaker, who's going to go through with an overview of the new programs. I'd like to introduce Roy
As Stephen said, I'm here to talk to you about 2014 incentives, which we literally just heard about the other day. A number of us have been on the training over the last couple of days, and I know there's going to be a training in North of England as well for leaders there, going through all the training. That incentive training is about 3 hours long. You'll be glad to know mine today's going to be a little bit shorter than that. 2.5 hours. Yeah. Why's that? Sorry, why is that coming up? Okay. When we saw this at the training the other day, this was a slide that really got us jumping up and down, thinking this is brilliant, because it makes it so much easier. Because I'm sure, like a lot of you, I found it very, very complicated trying to work out what incentives were what people last year, yeah? And it's one of the reasons why last year the incentives weren't promoted and we didn't take advantage of them as distributors, leaders, as a company in the way that we should have done. So this chart makes it an awful lot easier, and this actual presentation will be uploaded very soon to the company website, so you'll be able to see these slides, so you don't need to make notes on what's actually on the screen in front of you here. But what you can see on here is the fact that whatever level someone is in business, you think, point to it?
No.
Oh, okay. Whatever level someone is in business. For example, there, if you had someone who was 21%, if you look down the column, you'll see that they could take part in the recruiter incentive, they could take part in the points mania incentive, they could take part in the 1, 2, 3 incentive, and also becoming a mobile leader. So whatever stage someone's at, they can immediately see which incentives are applicable to them, and you can see for your team members which incentives you should be talking to them about. Sorry, this is having a few technical pictures. That's it. The first of the incentives I'll be talking about today is most important in many ways because it's the first thing that people should be told about when they're joining the business. In fact, you can use it as an incentive to actually get people into the business, and it's called Fragrance 10. This is a variation on the Fragrance 7 incentive that we had last year. Fragrance 7 last year, of course, gave people 7 days from when they joined in order to take advantage of buying two classics and 2 hot collection fragrances. This year, we've actually upped it. We can now get, once the slider works. Yeah. Why is it not working? I'll try on the next slide. We've now extended it to now people with their first 10 days in the business have a chance to get 3 of our classic fragrances for 40% off the normal price, and that's the normal distributor price, or business partner price as it is now. And 3 of our luxury fragrances, the ones that would normally cost us as distributors £11.80, we can get those for 30% off, so that actually comes down to £8.26. One important thing on this is the fact that these prices that they get, they're either £4.92 for the classics or the £8.26 for the luxury fragrances, are fixed prices. So it doesn't matter what price they're selling at, whether they're in special catalogues or anything at the time. These are the prices people will pay if they select those fragrances when they join the business on there. So it's 3 classics and 3 luxuries they can get for those reduced prices within their first 10 days of joining the business. The last day people can take advantage of these offers is literally the 10th day they've been in the business. So for example, when there's someone joining on the 15th of January, they would have until the 24th of January to take advantage of these offers. And there is no leeway on any of these incentives this year, because the good news is they're all automated. So the details will all actually be on the system. So when you phone up and place orders, when people you've choose to business place orders, the details of the fact they can qualify for these incentives, the staff in the FM office will have. When you go in the shop, they will be able to see it on their screens there. When you place orders on the shop online, you'll see the little extras box come up. Have you all seen that on the online shop? Yeah.
Has somebody booked a taxi? Name of Mary or Mary?
Taxi for Mary.
No?
That's one of the extras that comes up now. Free taxi. No, this will be a good video. The extras box that comes up will say to people what incentives, what extra products or samples they qualify for on this. And obviously that will be individual to each person they log in, so it'll be very, very helpful on this. But when people are joining the business, I would suggest you obviously tell them about it when they're joining, but also if you see they've not taken advantage of this offer, give them a reminder after about 5 days to say, do you know you've only got 5 days left to take advantage of these great incentives to get the fragrances at reduced prices. And people don't have to buy all 6 fragrances, and they don't have to buy all 6 fragrances at the same time. So someone in their first week when they place the order might want to get 2 of the classic bottles, and the following week they might want to get 1 of the classics and 1 of the luxuries, or 1 of the classics and 3 of the luxuries at these reduced prices. It's entirely up to the person how much they take advantage of this offer. But obviously it's to their benefit, and it's also to our benefit, because these products also carry points, to actually get them to take advantage of the maximum they can of this incentive. There's a few rules on this, on all the incentives, but I'm going to go through the ones on this incentive a little bit more, because they're the same as they apply to a lot of them. So just to remind you on these things. So the actual start date for this incentive for everyone is obviously different, because it's the date they join the business on there. Yeah? You can take advantage of this if you gain an additional number. As you move up through the marketing plan, you get given additional ID numbers to operate under. And there will be some exciting news announced on that very, very soon, on the chance you can get even more. But on those additional numbers, you can actually get the chance to take advantage of the Fragrance 10 incentive, and many of the other incentives too. If you've taken over an ID number, for example, if you've introduced someone to the business and they've got up to 12%, but then they later on become inactive and drop out of the business, and you would then take over their ID number, you won't be able to take advantage of these incentives on those extra numbers. As we said, they can buy as few of many of the Fragrance 10 fragrances as they wish. The 31st of December is when this incentive finishes, so if you, I know it's thinking ahead, but if you've got someone joining, for example, on the 29th of December this year, they would only have 2 days in which to take advantage of the incentive on there, so just be aware of that. The products do have a reduced points value, because obviously they're reduced in cost, and this incentive is purely for distributors registered with the UK office. So people living in the UK and Ireland, and also people in other countries who are buying from the UK office. The next incentive is called Welcome to FM Cosmetics UK, and again, this is a similar incentive to last year, but it's been updated and improved. So this year, this incentive, when someone joins the business, during their first month, and someone's first month, again, is based on the day they join the business. So it's 30 days after they've joined the business at the end of their first month. If they do 400 personal points during that time, they get a chance to take advantage of the first set you'll see up there, which is actually less than half the normal price that you normally pay as a distributor on there. And if they then carry on, do 600 points in their second month, so between their 31st day and their 60th day, they take advantage of the second set you'll see. And if they carry on and in their third month do 800 personal points, they can take advantage of the third set. All 3 sets contain some of our very best selling products, as you'll see. So this is a good chance for people to help to build up their display, use the products themselves, so they become more familiar with more of our products, or of course make money by selling the products within the sets. Entirely up to them what they do with those sets. But very much encourage all the people you've got joining the business to take advantage of each of these offers as they move through, because they will keep increasing the points they're putting in, because each month, as you see, the points actually get higher they need to do. So as I said, it's based on the actual day they join. So someone joined the 16th of January, their first month would end on the 15th of February, their second month would end on the 15th of March, 30 days later, and their third month would end on the 15th of April. They have another 30 days in which to actually take advantage of these special offers. So they would qualify in the first 30 days, for example, there up to 15th of Feb, they would qualify to do 400 points, and they would then have between the 16th of February and 15th of March to take advantage of that special set. Yeah, for the reduced price. Again, this is fully automated, so there's no leeway. So you need to make sure if people qualify for it, they are taking advantage of these offers on there. I'm not going to go through all the rules and regulations on this one, but I just want to point out that the actual 400, 600 or 800 points does need to be purchased from the UK office. So if you've got a distributor where they go on holiday to Spain or something and buy 100 points there, that won't count to their personal points towards this promotion on there. So you just need to make them aware of that when they're joining the business, particularly during the summer months. And this incentive, because there is a very reduced set, I said it's roughly 50% on average across the 3 sets, saving, there's no points value on these. But obviously we're gaining as leaders because we're actually getting the points going through the business, those 400, 600, 800 points, to help to boost that up through the system. The third of the incentives is what's called a recruiter. Now this is a brand new one for this year, and you may have noticed on the company application forms online, and on the printed application forms that will becoming available, and on the MyFM business site for those of us that have got those, you'll see there's now fields that say recruiter and sponsor. So there's 2 separate fields. The recruiter is the person that's introducing the person to the business, and the sponsor is the person they're being placed under within the business. Now, a vast majority of the time, you'll be introducing them to the business and putting them front line to yourself. But as your business grows, you may want to develop specific parts of your business, and it may just get to a stage where you've just got too many people you've personally introduced to the business on there, and you want to help them to build and develop their teams as well. So this allows for the chance that you will still get rewarded, obviously apart from having your team anyway, but you'll get a chance to get an extra reward for being the person who introduced the person to the business, even if you're placing them under somebody else. Now this is a very, very simple incentive because it links in to the Welcome to FM cosmetics incentive. Yeah? If you introduce someone to the business and they complete the Welcome to FM incentive, if they've done the 400, the 600, 800 points during their first, second and third months, at the end of it, you'll get a £15 reward, a £15 extra bonus added to your commission for doing it. Yeah? Good one?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's for each and every person that you introduce during this year that completes this Welcome to FM programme. So there's a chance to earn a lot of money purely from this incentive. And the person that you've introduced who does the Welcome to FM incentive, they don't need to have taken advantage of those 3 special sets for you to get this reward. They just have to have actually done 400, 600, 800. Yeah? So your £15 is not reliant on them remembering to buy the sets on there, but obviously it works to your advantage because it gives them products to sell, display, if they do buy those sets, but your money's not tied to that. And again, just as examples on here, just shows the fact it's based on the day they join the business. It's not based on a calendar month. Someone joined on the 20th of March, their first month in the programme, 19th of April, second month, 19th of May, third month, 19th of June. On the 20th of June, if they've completed their Welcome to FM, the £15 will be added onto your distributor account online. Yeah, so you very, very quick payment because it's a fully automated system that we've got. This incentive, the same as most of our incentives, ends in December this year. So you need, if someone joining the business, the last chance they've got to take advantage of this is really sort of 1st of October if they join the business, because the 31st of October will be the end of their first month, 30th of November the second, and 30th of December the last day on this. And you'd get the money on the 31st of December. So this is very much focused on the first 9 months of the year on this. So get recruiting, get introducing people to the business now. Rules and regulations are very similar to the other incentives that we've got. Just to point out to you, one thing on this is the ID number you're recruiting them, whether it's your main ID or one of your additional IDs, because additional ID numbers apply to this, must be doing 100 personal points yourself during all the months of the person who you're introducing to the business's qualification. Yeah? So if you introduce someone to the business this month, now, you also would need to be doing at least 100 personal points, which I know that everybody in this room does anyway. 100 personal points during this month, during next month, and during March as well. On there. So just be aware of that if you're telling people about this incentive. Points main area is back. One of the most popular incentives, along with the Welcome to FM, but this has been revised to help to encourage people to put through more money into the business, purchase more products and sell more products, and also to actually get more products that they can either sell or use for displays on there. So again, this runs for the whole year, but this is the change here is it increases. So when someone starts this program, and this program will start from the month they first do 300 personal points during 2014. So for a lot of people in the room, it's going to be this month. It's going to be January. Yeah? And this one is based on calendar months. So in January, if you do 300 personal points, you get a chance, it's going to slide off the screen there, so it's got a angle, but you get a chance to get one of the classic bottles for half of the normal price. Yeah? If during February, if you've done 300 in January, during February you do 310 points, so you'll see it slightly increases by 10 points. You get a chance to get 2 of our classic bottles for half the normal price the following month, so you actually will collect them in March. And it works all the way out, 320 points for the third month, 330 for the fourth, 340 for the fifth, etc. All the way up, so if you did, in November, if you did 400 personal points, you could get 11 bottles of classic during December. Yeah? So there's a chance to get a lot of classic bottles for half the normal price, just for doing 300 or just above points every month during this year. If you didn't do 300 points during January, for example, and you didn't do it during February, you didn't do it during March, you could still start the programme whenever you first do your first 300 points. So on this example here, you're doing 300 points in April for the first time, yeah? Which means April would be a month you do 300, and then May would be when you claim your first classic bottle, half price. May you'd have to do 310 points to carry on this incentive, and you get 2 bottles in June. Yeah, so it just keeps going up after the month you've actually started the programme on there. Yeah, you are allowed to actually. So first of all, the fact is you don't have to obviously just do 300, 310, 320. You can do 5,000 points, 20,000 points if you're one member of the team. Yeah, one member of the team actually did over 20,000 points in December. Absolutely amazing. So 300 seems very little by comparison to that. But if whatever number of points you do, as long as it's above these minimums, you will qualify for the chance to get the classic bottles the following month on there. And the good thing as well is you've actually got a chance. If you, for example, you're going away on holiday for one of the months and you weren't able to do the personal points target that month, they do actually allow you 1 month you can miss during that. Yeah? Obviously it means that you miss out on the classic bottles that you could get at the very end because you've only done 11 months instead of 12 or whatever it happens to be. But it does mean you can carry on in the incentive. But you can only do that once. So in this example here, the person in May did 340 personal points, but in June they only did 340 again, so they didn't actually increase it by that 10 they needed. So they missed out, but in July they did 360, so they're back on the programme again and qualifying for those classic bottles. So FM is very much a company that understands the way network marketing works and understands that people do go on holiday, And a good number of us are going to the picnic this year. When we're over in Poland, the picnic might be, no, actually, we would normally buy more than that. But this is, again, it's actually based on UK points. So just bear that in mind as well on that. But as well as obviously the profit people are earning, this is very much the fact if you're encouraging your team members to do Points Mania, their points will keep increasing each month, which means your incomes will keep increasing each month and you'll be moving up through the levels in business. So Points Mania is a very good one to get that regular points going within your business. So again, rules and regulations very similar to the other programs. The one thing on this, the business partner obviously doesn't need to, so we don't need to actually purchase all the bottles if we don't want to. We can just purchase whatever, one bottle if we qualify for 6 or whatever it happens to be on there. It's entirely up to us on this. Again, the same way as with the Fragrance 10 incentive, the points are reduced. They're half the points for obvious reasons because they're actually half the price we're getting for them there. And again, you don't need to get all those classic fragrances and you qualify in one transaction. You can actually do those over the period of the month after you qualified. And obviously those 300 points or 310 points or whatever number of points are due to qualify for that month, you don't need to do them in one order. It can be spread over a few orders, the same way as it was before. But as I said, they all have to come from the UK office. And the classic price, again, is fixed. It's based on the price, the normal price of plastic bottles rather than any special offer that may be happening at the time. We've got a brand new incentive for the first 3 months of this year called 123. Very appropriate name. This is one of the simplest incentives you'll ever hear of. If you do 2,000 personal points this month, 2,000 personal points in February and 2,000 personal points in March, you get a £150 product gift voucher from the company which you can use to spend on products. Very, very simple incentive on there. And it just runs, as I said, for this first 3 months. But you must do the 2,000 points in each of the months in order to qualify. So if you don't do 2,000 points in January, then you don't qualify for this incentive. Okay, so you need to do 2,000, 2,000, 2,000 or qualify for this incentive. Again, the rules are very, very similar to the others. Yeah. When you've actually qualified at the end of March for this incentive, when you're then taking advantage of it in April, you do need to make sure you actually place your order during April for these £150 worth of free products you get. One very important thing on this, we had an incentive last year called Choose and Grab, which I'll cover a little bit towards the end of this presentation. But it gave you a chance to get things like an iPhone and things like that. If you were allowed to start qualifying for that incentive last year and finish it off with qualification for that incentive this year, if you're one of those people where you're going after those Choose and Grab rewards from last year's incentive, you can't take part in this program as well. Okay, so you've got a choice. You can either take part in the Choose and Grab incentive if you were qualifying under that at the end of last year but didn't complete the qualification, or you can take part in the 123 incentive. What I've put together here is just an extra slide, which again we're trying to get uploaded to the company website, and this is to take advantage of those first 4 incentives in the best way to help people to get started with the business. So you'll see on there, someone who's joined on the Fragrance 10 incentive, if they're doing, and I will email this over to you again, someone that's doing the Fragrance 10 incentive, if they take advantage of those 3 classic fragrances and 3 luxury fragrances, they would have done 136.20 points. I'm sure all of us would like someone joining to do in their first 10 days at least 136 points, yes? Yeah? Yeah. So this is why we need to focus on the Fragrance 10 incentive to get everybody who introduced into the business doing this. But that Fragrance 10 136 points counts towards the points needed for Points Mania. So they'd only need to do less than 170 more points to then qualify for Points Mania on the first step of that, to qualify for their half-price classic. So if you've got someone who do this Fragrance 10 and has completed it, make sure you've also told them that without a little bit of extra effort they can qualify for Points Mania, and it starts them on those regular points. Just slightly above that, 400 points, is the Welcome to FM incentive. So if they've done 300 points, make sure they also are doing the extra 100 to get to the Welcome to FM incentive. So they can actually get that set for less than half price. Again, you're just setting those targets a little bit higher each time as they're moving through in that first month of the business. One thing to bear in mind though, just to watch on that, is obviously Fragrance 10 and Welcome to FM, as I said, to actually start from the day during the month they start with the business. Whereas the Points Mania is based on their starting month. So someone joining middle January, 15th of January for example, 15th of January is start date for Breakfast 10 and Welcome to FM, but January is their starting month for Points Mania. So just bear that in mind. Or the first month they hit 300. And then a further step up on the 1, 2, 3 is if they've already done the 400 points under the Welcome to FM, if they step up that further and do 2,000 points, it means there'd be a 1/3 of the way towards a £150 gift voucher. For yourself as the person that introduced them to the business, if they're doing those 4 steps, it means you've got over 2,000 plus group points. Regardless of where they are on your team, you've got 2,000 plus group points extra going through your team. And I'm sure we'd all like 2,000 extra points from every person joining our business going through the team. Yeah? I see you're nodding there. And obviously not just the points, but obviously the team bonuses that the points actually produce going through. And it means, if someone's completing that, even if they're just completing the first few steps of that, that you're 1/3 of the way to an extra £15 as well for being the recruiter. Yeah. So extra cash returns again from last year, very, very similar to last year. In fact, it's been running for a few years now, very, very popular incentive. For those of you who don't know, the way extra cash works is someone, for example, if they hadn't reached the 3% level in the business, or as high as they got to the 3% level, if they rise through and make 6% and then maintain that for the following 2 months, they'd get an extra one-off £30 cash bonus. And it works the same way all the way up to 21%. So someone doing 21% for the first time and holding that for the following 2 months would actually get an extra £400 in addition to all the other bonuses they're getting through the Magnolia program. Same way as before, this can actually be done in multiple levels in the same month. So an example on here is someone who base month they're on 0. In April they hit 6%, May 12, June 12, July 15, August 15. It means during April they've done their first month at 6% and they've maintained it for May and June. But during May, they're not just maintaining 6%, but they've actually done the 9 and 12 as well. So they're starting to qualify for 3 of these bonuses at the same time on there. So they carry on during June and July, doing 9% and 12%. Yeah? Which means, in July, they get extra £30 for completing that 6%, but they'd also get £190, a combination of £70 for 9% and £120 for 12% for completing 3 months of those levels of work. So if people move up fast through the programme, they don't get penalised under this, they still get all the rewards they're going through on here. And this just gives another example there of where people could even get qualified for a lot more levels all at the same time on there to get extra bonuses. The rules, again, very similar to the other programmes. One difference, and it's been the difference since this programme started, is the fact that preferred customers can't take advantage of this programme. It's purely for distributor status, the people who actually purchase the kit. Yeah? Also on this one, this one is actually a change from last year, is the fact that people, as they're moving through this programme, must do 100 personal points as they're moving through the programme to participate in it. And again, all these points must be from the UK office for those personal points. And the same rule as before is the fact that as you move up through these levels to take advantage of these extra bonuses, your main leg in your business must not be more than 60% of your volume. And if you go onto your trees on the FM Cosmetics site, you can actually see what percentage your main leg goes on there. So it shows you exactly what you're doing on that. As I've said before in previous years when I've been up here training about this incentive, if this incentive had been in place when I first joined the business, I would have actually missed all of these extra bonuses as moving up because my main leg on my route to 21% was always more than 60% of my business. So if any of you are in the same position where your main leg as you move up is more than 60%, yes, it does mean you miss out on these one-off rewards, but you're still moving up through the programme on there. So, and it's very hard sometimes to balance your legs, as I'm sure a lot of you know. The fast start incentive has been, this replaces quick start we had last year and has been very, very simplified Because Quick Start was one of the least taken up incentives last year because it was very, very complicated, I'm sure you all agree, yeah? I couldn't understand it. We've made it very, very simple for this year, Fast Start. Someone whose highest level they've reached in the business is 9% or less, yeah, as of at the 1st of January, yeah, or if they're a new person, obviously when they're joining the business, yeah. If during their first 3 full months, and I'll explain a little bit more on that in a minute, they do 21% level Golden Magnolia, they will get a one-off bonus of £1,000 extra on top of all the normal Magnolia commissions. Yeah, very good, yeah. If they don't do it in their first 3 full months, but they do it in months 4, 5 or 6, they get 500 instead of the 1,000. But still a good extra bonus for someone joining the business. This is a fantastic incentive to tell people who you're approaching who are in other businesses about FM. Yeah? If they can come into FM and bring people with them as well, they will see immediately the advantages of this incentive and the chance to get those extra bonuses if they bring their people across into FM. As I said, this is actually based on your first full month in the business for the people that are coming new into this business. Or for the people who are 9% or less beforehand. So example on there, someone joined on the 10th of January, yesterday. Their first month on this programme is February. So it's their first full calendar month in this business. Yeah? So first month will be February, second month March, third month April. So if they hit 21% in April and maintain that for the following 2 months afterwards, again it's maintenance programme, the same as the extra can. At the end of it, they will get £1,000 in July extra bonus. Yeah? And it works the same way whatever month they're joining in on there. Yeah? Works the same way on the 6 months. The 6 months starts from their first full month in the business. So someone joined the 1st of January, their first full month in the business is actually February. Because obviously they didn't join midnight on 1st of January. The staff work very hard in the office, but they don't work working at midnight. If people actually do this incentive during their first month, and you will introduce people to the business sometimes who will do this, if they actually hit 21% during, say someone joined on the 10th of January, joined yesterday, and hit 21% before the end of this month, then the company then would count that as their first month on this programme. That's the only exception. So, it can happen. So if it did happen, the company won't penalise them for the fact that it's happened. So some rules and regulations on this. As I said, this is for people who, as of the 1st of January this year, have not ever been higher than 9% level within the business, and obviously for new people joining the business. Oh, sorry. On this one on there. I know one I missed, so that was the fact that, again, preferred customers can't take part in this incentive. It's purely for people who are distributors and full kits. Again, it's 100 personal points for the people who take part in this programme. Again, the 60% rule applies. So most of the rules on this is fairly similar to the extra cash programme. Yep. I think I'm running slightly ahead. That's good. I'll slow down. On the 60% rule applies again. And very important on this is the fact that 30,000 points must come from the UK office. So someone reaching 21% may have done it on partly UK points, partly points from France, Spain, whatever it happens to be. But in order to take advantage of this incentive, at least 30,000 of those points must be from the UK office. So they may hit 21% and do 40,000 points, but 30,000 points of those must come from the UK office. Because obviously all these incentives are actually being paid for by the UK office. So the UK office can't pay out and think it's not actually getting the money in for in the first place. We now move on to the Peugeot programme, or the Mobile Leader programme. Yeah? Again, this is a continuation with variations from last year. So what do you need in order to do this? Well, you need to reach a 21% level in the business, and you need to be getting over 40,000 points. There is one rule on this with 40,000 points. It's the fact that those no more than 15,000 of the 40,000 contributors towards your total can come from the one leg. So if you've got 21% leg in your business, yeah, who's doing 30,000 points, just 15,000 of that will be counted towards the 40,000 total you need. So you need to have that 21% leg and 25,000 points outside of that leg in order to qualify under this incentive. Yeah? So this example here, the person's done 100 points. They've introduced someone called Karen who's built a team of 5,000, Mark 7,900, Lucy 12,000. Lucy's always do well in this business. Victor 10,000, and Mary's actually 21% leg, but only 15,000 is counting towards the 40,000 points. But on this example here, you've actually got a total there of 50,000, so you've done more than enough to qualify for the Peugeot. At the orchid level on this programme, because Pearl Orchids also qualify under this programme, again 15,000 points as the maximum that are taken from the 21% leg, or each 21% leg. So on this example here, the Pearl Orchid, who's actually got a 21% leg under them and another pearl leg under them. They've got someone called Victor, who's done 29,000 points, but only 15,000 count towards it. And they've got someone, that's the wrong total on there, Mary. Mary's done a lot more than 16,000, but only 15,000 would count towards the total. So a maximum of 15,000, 21% leg or pearl leg towards the total. As you move up to approach this, please speak to your upline orchids, please speak to the office, they will explain looking at your own personal points on how you qualify on this. So the rules on this, there is one major change on the rules on this from last year. Well, one change again is 100 personal points, which you'll see a lot in incentives this year. 100 personal points in each of the months you actually qualify for it. But also, before we had a programme where it was a case of, during your 3 years you have the Peugeot 4, if you did 18 months at the qualification level, you'd actually get the final payment of the Peugeot would actually be paid at the end. But you wouldn't get any more Peugeots after that. Yeah, that would be it. You just have one Peugeot for your whole life in FM. The very good news is that's actually changed. So it shows the commitment to this programme as well, in the fact it now becomes a rolling programme. So people can actually qualify for one of the Peugeot, then after 3 years, they can actually then select another Peugeot. 3 years later, another brand new Peugeot. So it's now become a rolling programme. So you give back, the same way as the Mercedes programme works, you give back the vehicle you've got and you get a brand new one after those end of those 3 years, as long as you're still doing the qualification on there. Yeah? I know it's very good news for David and Marilyn sitting at the back there, because it's timed perfectly for them to get a brand new Peugeot car, so they're very, very excited. As I said, it's a rolling 3-year programme for the Peugeot, and you get paid for each month after you've done the qualification and maintenance for 2 months. You then get it actually paid to you for every month that you actually qualify for it. You actually get the lease payment paid. If you miss the payment during any of the months, then obviously you're paying for the lease yourself. Same way as it worked before. Yeah. With both the Peugeot and the Mercedes programme, what I will say to you is make sure you only take advantage of these programmes when you know you're going to be qualifying each month. Yeah, for that level. Because otherwise you end up paying for the car yourself on there. So make sure you do that. And again, speak to your upline orchid, speak to the office on there. I know David Marilyn had a chat with Anita, didn't you, the other day on this, because they obviously are doing this every single month, so they're easily getting their lease payments paid on this. And the reward is for the car, it's not for any effort, you can't be exchanged for anything else on there. It's for the basic version of the Peugeot, but if you wanted to, the same way as with the Mercedes programme, you can actually upgrade the specifications and just pay the difference between normal basic and the spec you've actually done. I know, Ian, you've done that, haven't you? Yeah. And the Ferrari bit on the top of it, which moves us all nicely on to the Mercedes programme, which works in a similar way to the Peugeot one. This is for people when they're qualified for Pearl Orchid level and they've got 80,000 points coming through. And again, this is a 21% leg plus 50,000 points outside. So it's going to give you that total of 80,000. At that level, you'll then qualify for an A-class Mercedes under the programme. And the A-class Mercedes you keep for 4 years. Hit Amaranth level, and you then qualify for C-class Mercedes. And with each of these stages, again, this is UK incentive, so it must be some UK points going through. And for example, on here, on this Amaranth one, you must have at least 90,000 points from the UK office going through in order to qualify on this incentive. So you may be Amaranth with extra points from elsewhere. At that Amaranth level, most people hit Amaranth, you've got points coming through from more than just one country. But at least 90,000 must come from the UK. The C-class Mercedes. And then at the Golden Orchid level, you're then looking at the E-class Mercedes on there. And again, 120,000 points must come from the UK office. At the Diamond level, you're looking at the S-class Mercedes, with 180,000 points coming from the UK office. Once you've qualified for one of these Mercedes, and you've completed over the 4 years under the I need to talk fast now. The 4 years under the A-class or the 3 years under the upper Mercedes, you can then take another Mercedes at the end of it by giving back the first one. At that stage, you actually get a choice of a few different Mercedes to go for. As many of you know, I had the A-class for 4 years. I handed that back last year, and I got the SLK parts outside there, so you get the extra chance to choose those models. And I did give it a clean before it came along here today. It was glad to know what the opposite. So on this incentive, as I said, each 21% leg is 30,000 points coming through at the Pearl Orchid level. If you've got a Pearl Orchid in your team and your Amaranth Orchid, 35,000 points can be taken from that leg towards the total you need. And it increases at each of the levels. Again, I won't go through because I know we're running short of time on this, and these will all be put up online. But we can talk to you as you approach these different levels in the Mercedes car programme. Same way as on the Peugeot, you need to hit this level and maintain it for the following 2 months in order to qualify for Mercedes. Oh, sorry. I can't remember what it was. Oh yes, again on this programme, 150 this time, personal points each month must be going through in order to qualify for the payment, lease payment from Mercedes, as well as doing the structural bit on there. Yeah. And that is under the ID number you claim the vehicle on, because at that stage you will have an extra ID number. Okay, just very quickly on these incentives, because again they're very, very basic incentives. When you hit the Pearl level, and this one actually finishes in November, you hit the Pearl level and maintain it for 2 months in a row, you can actually get a free tablet. Yeah, so an aspirin or powder. No. Steve made that joke the other day, I thought I'd use it. Thank you. And now we're obviously talking about iPads or things like that on there. And initially it's very flexible on the make and model and details of it that you want. So you're achieving the Pearl level, and again you're doing 150 personal points in order to qualify on the incentive. Rules and regulations, very similar to everything else. Apart from the last month, obviously because this finished in November, the last month you can actually start qualification of this programme in September, because you need to maintain it for 2 months. At Amaranth level, you've got a chance on the same basis. When you hit Amaranth and maintain it for 2 months, 250 personal points, you've got a chance to either get a coffee machine, which I think is worth about £1,200 for coffee machine, or you can take a £1,000 voucher if you give them the coffee machine on there. So a very nice reward at Amaranth level. Same rules as the other programmes. And we also then, for people hitting the golden level for the first time and maintaining for 2 months in a row and doing 150 personal points, you've actually got a chance to get a luxury holiday. Last year this was fixed on a destination, though there was some flexibility on it. But this year you actually get a £2,000 voucher towards a holiday to go wherever you want. So if you want to just go yourself, want to take your partner with you, want to take the kids with you, want to take your upline with you? Then you can actually take them on the At the diamond level, you hit diamond level and maintain it for the following 2 months. You get a chance to get an encrusted diamond ring. It's specially designed. It's set with diamonds. I'm sure you've all seen Irina's fantastic ring that she's got on the programme we had last year on this. The rules again are the same on this programme as we had on last year's one. One added incentive for this year, completely different from anything we've had before, doesn't actually apply to anybody in this room, but it will apply to people in your team. Yeah? And it will certainly apply to your daughter who's over here in Holland. This is for people who are business partners living outside of the UK and not ordering from the UK office, but who are sponsoring people in the UK. And this is linked through to the Fast Start programme. So if they introduce someone to the business in the UK who completes the Fast Start programme, that, if you remember, that's getting to 21% within the first 3 months or months 4 to 6. Whatever that person they've introduced in the UK gets, whether it's the £1,000 or £500 reward, the person in the other country who recruited them will get the same amount. So it's a very good opportunity for us all to speak to the people we've got in other countries who are building businesses and encourage them to build more in the UK. Because that works to our advantage as well, because it adds to our UK points, plus it means that the people they're introducing to the business have got a chance to come along to our training meetings like this. Yeah? So it's an incentive that doesn't apply directly to us, it's an incentive we should be promoting. The rules and regulations, again, are the same as the other programme. Just quickly on choose and grab, this is an incentive from last year. If people between May and October this year do 12 months in a row at 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 or 4,000 personal points on battery front on stage, there's the chance to get the iPhone and laptop 3D TV or holiday in the Dominican Republic. So obviously if you've got people or yourselves, if you're already taking part in this programme, I'm sure you already know the rules, regulations of it, but it carries on, so you can still qualify if you already started this programme. And you can also do it in 6 months instead of 12, if you wish to reduce the rules a bit. So that's the end of the incentive programmes. I have actually run out of time, but just very quickly I'm going to mention we've got two extra, yeah, I know, this is a 3-hour then today. We've actually got 2 extra bonuses that are available for people who are Pearl and Amaranth levels in the business. I'm not going to go into the details of these programmes, you'll be pleased to know. But it's a chance for people to get extra bonuses for maintaining what the team structure they had in October last year, or increasing the team structure they had. And there's a chance to actually get extra rewards. I'll just quickly go to those slides. Chance to get extra rewards basing from €5 up to €125 for maintaining or developing those legs every single month. Yeah, on each of the legs. So this is a chance to add an awful lot of money to Pearl and Amaranth bonuses. So for the people in the room who are at Pearl and Amaranth level, this is a very, very important incentive which you need to look at and look at how to develop those legs in order to maximise this. For those of you in the room who are not at Pearl level at the moment, this is an even better reason to get to Pearl this year, because it's extra money on top of the Orchid programme, on top of the Magnolia programme and on top of the normal UK incentives. Extra chance to get even more money. Thank you very much.